Chessboard over the headboard. Learn how my enemies move and get prepared for it. Ops plotting on everything that I bled for. Just remember to guard your head before you head for it. Put away swords as advantages in a pen. I know a few cuts in the bandage come with a win, but I feel like it's too much damage to fake amends. Restoring balance after revenge. Trips on the high road are now over and you know the reason. 'Tis the season for sowing and reaping. Point still for how you hope we even. Thinking about that wildlife until they realize it's open season. Lacking on endless ain't no coming to. Never seem to back up what they say once in front of you. Never been too humble of a dude to humble dudes. You messing with the one who's always been the number two. It get quiet on the set when it's time for action. Words don't match verbs, they need closed captions. It's kinda funny now that no one's laughing. They need my reaction to attract attraction. But I don't do favors, brought light to truth like room raiders. Niggas want beef, I'll soon cater. Keep a magazine, don't assume fader. Plans to move on can resume later. I check haters with chess moves. Only execution, no excuse. There's things that you need to confess to. Don't let your pride be your reason for check use. When you son niggas, they feel the need to throw shade. I'd rather hear lies and see it quoted on your grave. Niggas jealous. Meanwhile, tour buses taking road trips on the same road that you claiming to have paved. And where pit stops should be obvious. But if not, just know it involves deposit slips. Going live, preaching love, but show the opposite. Can't apologize, too busy being an apologist. You know, views from the top take more than clicks. It ain't over yet, there's a score to fix. Got a lot on my chest, it take more than Vic. Should've paid me my respect way before the split. Foot on their necks and I don't plan on going gentile. Ziggin talking crazy like they're mental. Guess that's what happens when you let too much of the fame get to your tempel. Life's about principle, I'm just spitting like I'm Pimpel. The nerve you getting is in what you do for titles. Backstabbing the people that help with your survival. Get ahead and start making the realest your rivals. Fall off and need a number to dial for revival. Need a medic to check all his vitals. Plain to see my arrival was vital. They're playing the part in which you're downward spiral. But you haven't spoken reasons why you really viral. It's cold when you lie without a blanket. Keep you up at night thinking how your name is tainted. Perfect time to quarantine, ain't it? Hope you and your senses get more acquainted. Views from the top take more than clicks. Score to fix. More than Vicks. Before the split.
This down to the end exclusive.
Chessboard over the headboard. Learn how my enemies move and get prepared for it. Ops plotting on everything that I bled for. Just remember to guard your head before you head for it. Put away swords as advantages in a pen. I know a few cuts in the bandage come with a win, but I feel like it's too much damage to fake amends. Restoring balance after revenge. Trips on the high road are now over and you know the reason. 'Tis the season for sowing and reaping. Point still for how you hope we even. Thinking about that wildlife until they realize it's open season. Lacking on endless ain't no coming to. Never seem to back up what they say once in front of you. Never been too humble of a dude to humble dudes. You messing with the one who's always been the number two. It get quiet on the set when it's time for action. Words don't match verbs, they need closed captions. It's kinda funny now that no one's laughing. They need my reaction to attract attraction. But I don't do favors, brought light to truth like room raiders. Niggas want beef, I'll soon cater. Keep a magazine, don't assume fader. Plans to move on can resume later. I check haters with chess moves. Only execution, no excuse. There's things that you need to confess to. Don't let your pride be your reason for check use. When you son niggas, they feel the need to throw shade. I'd rather hear lies and see it quoted on your grave. Niggas jealous. Meanwhile, tour buses taking road trips on the same road that you claiming to have paved. And where pit stops should be obvious. But if not, just know it involves deposit slips. Going live, preaching love, but show the opposite. Can't apologize, too busy being an apologist. You know, views from
This episode of the Cab Grand Rising Show is brought to you by Autochthonous Assembly, where the real work gets done. For the first-time visitors who may be wondering who Autochthonous Assembly is, Autochthonous Assembly, or A2 for short, is a gathering of minds that do the work. A2 is a non-profit organization dedicated to raising up Indigenous Americans' voices by using genealogy, also known as family history or family tree. Genealogy is the study of families and the tracing of their lineages in history. Genealogists use oral interviews, historical records, genetic analysis, and other records to obtain information about a family and to demonstrate kinship and pedigrees of its members. Autochthonous Assembly's core values are the foundation of its company, essential to its success, and serves as the lens through which it evaluates every business decision. The core values are integrity, know and do what is right, respect, treating others the way you want to be treated, responsibility, embrace opportunities to contribute, servant leadership, serve the common good. Along with a key emphasis on genealogy, A2 is also committed to providing our communities with information and access to available grants and funding through the Department of Housing and Urban Development, the United States Department of Agriculture, the Farm Service Agency, and other departments and agencies that offer programs to help them become self-sufficient. Building on a strong community reputation, Autochthonous Assembly continues to strengthen the growth of the relationship and development of our communities. Peace and Grand Rising.
Warning, warning, warning. Hard hats, pickaxe, shovels, boots required.
Peace, everyone. Peace, peace, peace. We made it back this evening. And again, like we said, sorry for the delays, this rising bad storm in a couple of areas that kept messing with the stream. So we decided it was worth it to come back this evening to bring this much needed information.
Grand afternoon. Peace, everybody. Glad y'all made it back. Or glad you showed up if you're here now.
You know, we started this rising with going through what is Title 25. Because there's a lot of people who talk about it, telling you you can fix your status with it. It helps you be an Indian and this and that. So we're going to start from the top again and break it back down to give the community a better understanding of what is Title 25 and what does it pertain to. So give me 10 seconds and I have the link in the chats again.
Yeah. Give a little quick roll call and I'll do another one later. Pamela Hall, grand afternoon. Peace, Bonton, South Dallas. Peace, Lachey. Liz Robinson, grand afternoon. And that's what we have right now in our YouTube chat. Peace to everybody here. Dion Lowe, grand rising. Grand afternoon. Well, I ain't speak to you this rising, so grand rising too. I'll call out some more names as y'all show up. Come in the room and speak. Peace to the silent majority. And anybody that's going to hear this later. Macadon 1, peace, grand rising, grand afternoon. Man, I ain't going to say nothing else about grand. Peace to the chat. Let me scroll back up and make sure you ain't
I got it in the chats and about to bring it over on screen.
Kennard Blunt, or no, sorry, my bad. Kennard Burnett. Grand Rock. Man, you know what?
Grand afternoon.
Grand afternoon. Gracious. You must put grand, anything that has grand in it, I'm gonna start saying. Grand Pooba. Grand, I don't know, Grand's Biscuits.
You say Grand's Biscuits.
Yeah, I'm pulling up.
You'll be able to read some this afternoon, or?
Yeah, I can read a few lines. I got you. See, Gabrielle got her hands in the dirt, probably.
Both hands and 2 feet.
All right, here we go. Where we at? You said we're starting from the top?
Yes. Yeah, they let us get 18 minutes in and Stone said boom.
All right, let me know what I ain't Gabrielle, so you know I ain't gonna automatically click no hot links. You might have to let me know to slow down, click a hot link or two.
Yeah, no problem. No, there's nothing really to click on for this. I mean, because everything is right there. They keep it clear, cut, and simple. So everyone will have a full understanding on what Title 25 is after this.
Oh yeah, and questions, comments, concerns, and/or corrections, email us at attentionassembly@gmail.com if you have any of those questions still after this segment. Just a heads up. We still available for that. All right. If I can get back to the screen. Oh yeah. All right, I'm ready. Mic check. Title 25.
Let's do it.
Title 25 of the Code of Federal Regulations. Title 25 is the portion of the Code of Federal Regulations, hotlink, that governs government-to-government relations with Native American tribes within the United States. Hotlink and hotlink. It is available in digital or printed form.
First sentence sums it up for you that Title 25 is a portion of the Code of the Federal Regulation that governs government-to-government relations. It has nothing to do with individuals.
Oh, it doesn't?
No,
I hear a lot of individuals talking about it, but not as a group. Okay.
Because they wrong.
You can check that off. Questions, comments, concerns, and/or corrections. Email us at talktoassembly@gmail.com.
But there's more. They break it down volume, chapter, and section and let you know what each part contains of.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. All right, so volume 1, chapter 1, sections 1 through 299. They covered almost 300 sections in chapter 1, volume 1. Bureau scope, Bureau of Indian Affairs. Hot link, Department of Interior, subchapter A, Procedures and Practice, subchapter B, Law and Order, subchapter C, Probate, subchapter D, Human Services, subchapter E, Education, subchapter F, Tribal Government, subchapter G, Financial Activities, subchapter H, Land and Water, subchapter I, Energy and Minerals, subchapter J, Fish and Wildlife, subchapter K, Housing, subchapter L, Heritage Preservation, subchapter M, Indian Self-Determination and Education Assistance Act Program, subchapter N, Economic Enterprise, subchapter O, Miscellaneous.
So far through sections 1 through 299, nothing dealing with no individual Indian status correction. And that's volume 1, chapter 1, sections 1 through 299. And not one of them deals with anything with so-called status correction. Mic check.
Mic check. My bad, I was on mute.
1, 2, 1, 2.
We are on chapter, no. Is that right? No. Volume 2, chapter 2, sections 300 through 399. Indian Arts and Crafts Board, hot link, Department of Interior.
That was it for that one?
But still, in volume 2, chapter 3, section 500 through 599. National Indian Gaming Commission, hot link, Department of Interior. Subchapter A, General Provisions. Subchapter B, Approval of Class 2 and Class 3 ordinances and resolutions. Subchapter C, Management Contract Provisions. Subchapter D, Human Services. Subchapter E, Gaming Licenses and Background Investigations for Key Employees and Primary Management Officials. Subchapter F, Reserved. Subchapter G, Compliance and Enforcement Provisions. Subchapter H, Reserved. Subchapter I is reserved.
So it seems to me, part 2, section 3, volume 2, chapter 3, 500 to 599, that just deals with casinos.
That's what it looks like.
Hold on, we say what? Hold up. Oh, we're not done yet. I see they got more. Maybe it's in here. No sellout. Maybe it's in this one.
It could be. So we moving on to. We're still in volume 2. We're finishing off in volume 2. But we are on chapter 4, section 700 through 799. The Office of Navajo and Hopi Indian Relocation. That's 4.
That was it.
That's 4. Yeah. 5. Chapter 5 in volume 2, section 900. Bureau of Indian Affairs, Department of the Interior, and Indian Health Service, hot link, Department of Health and Human Services. That's it for number 5. Chapter 5. Chapter 6, 1000, Section 1000 through 1099. Office of the Assistant Secretary, Indian Affairs, Department of the Interior. Still finishing on Volume 2, Chapter 7, Sections 1200 through 1299. The scope is Office of the Special Trustee for American Indians, Department of the Interior.
So hold on. We just did Title 25, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And it's in Volume 1 and Volume 2,
Mm-hmm.
Chapter 1 to 7.
1 through 7.
And none of this deals with anything dealing with individual rights or status of an Indian, correct?
I didn't see that or hear myself say that out loud. So no, I'm gonna say that's correct. That we can't do that.
So where is this information coming from that Title 25 Indians is a status or something that you can use or claim?
Ah man, I don't know. Are there experts that are claiming this? Are there just people that are claiming this? I don't understand.
I mean, we had a couple of questions. People called in or emailed in. So, people ask questions. We have no problem with pulling the information, getting the source and presenting it. And as see and look at the link, Title 25 is just the code of federal regulations that governs government relationship with American Indian tribes.
Okay. So I see. I mean, I understand.
I mean, and by reading that, to me, it makes sense why when people have you fill out this fraudulent paperwork and use these real government papers for fraudulent activities, it shows how you can get jammed up because you're an individual using federal codes that were designed for government to government relations with Native American tribes. So if you're not a tribe and you're doing this, and you're not the U.S. government when you're doing this, isn't that fraud? Because you're pretending to be two nations? I hope the audience can see how this can get you in very, very drastic trouble by using this the wrong way. This is not intended for individual Indians to use. These are just government federal regulations. Oh boy.
Yep, that'll get you hemmed up. I know that much.
And we say that to say this. When people keep trying to tell you, oh, Title 25, all you got to do is put Title 25 in with your genealogy, and that's going to get your status correct. You know what you need to start replying, brothers and sisters? Prove it, and can you point me to the source? Where did you get that from? Where's that said? Because again, I mean, obviously, no sellout. The first sentence again is what? Title 25 is the portion of the Code of Federal Regulations that governs government to government relations with Native American tribes. And it's not a secret document. Yeah, it's not a secret document. It tells you it's available in digital or printed form. Matter of fact, we're looking at it right now and it's on screen. So
oh man, I don't like people being confused, so I like when you can clear stuff up for folks.
Again, Title 25 again is just Code of Federal Regulations that basically govern the BIA. Oh,
somebody.
Even the part in there when they talk about the heritage preservation. Again, Title 25 is the portion of the Code of Federal Regulations. Matter of fact, no sellout. Let's click on federal regulations real quick.
Okay. Hi. Code of Federal Regulations.
You had the time to read it, or I'll go through and I'll just read the top. We don't have to do the background, just a basic understanding so people know what it is.
Oh yeah, I can read that. I can read that. Code of Federal Regulations. Piece to the chat. The Code of Federal Regulations, CFR, is the codification of the general and permanent rules and regulations, sometimes called administrative law, published in the Federal Register, hot link, by the executive departments and agencies of the federal government of the United States. The CFR is divided into 50 titles that represent broad areas subject to federal regulation. The CFR annual edition is the codification of the general and permanent rules published by the Office of the Federal Register, part of the National Archives and Records Administration, and the Government Publishing Office. In addition to this annual edition, the CFR is published in an unofficial format online on the electronic CFR website, which is updated daily.
So again, Code of Federal Regulations deals with what again? Don't sell out. Say federal government of the United States, administrative law that governments use between governments. It is not designed for individual use or purposes. Anyone telling you otherwise,
Look,
please ask for a source.
I just need proof. That's all. I just want proof. And I'll be all right. Proof should not be a problem. And me asking for it should never be a problem. Unless, maybe you paid for the proof and, you feel like you should be paid for it since you paid for it. I don't know, maybe. But outside of that, what's the problem? What is?
And that's where a lot of people wonder why they'll push you off as identity extremist groups or label you as paper terrorists, because people are telling you to use paperwork and fill out stuff that was intended for administrative law dealing with the federal government, for government to government relations.
Now, I got a question.
Visual.
What if, okay, so you've heard of a loophole before, right? And I know most people know what a loophole is, and sometimes loopholes can be viewed as harmless in most cases because it's a loophole. So you can get through the loophole and do it that way and success. Yay, we did it, right? Nah.
Wrong.
Some loopholes can get you hemmed up.
The loophole with this is when you
That
go to
loophole is a noose.
When you go to the Federal Registry to get something published in it, the loophole is whether it's legal or illegal, they can inform you and they just publish it.
Mm-hmm. What they
That's
supposed
all
to
it
do
is.
somebody else's job while doing their job? I don't think so.
Yeah.
They don't have to.
You put these fraudulent claims in and you send it to the Federal Registry. They're going to do it because that's their job to file it. They can't give you legal advice. So again, these codes are federal codes that governments use between each other.
Okay, so what if they are a government?
I never known an individual to be a government.
Okay, just making sure. I might have a few more questions before we're done.
And if we can, real quick, can we go back and just click on Native American tribes just real quick?
Native American tribes in the United States. Native Americans, also known as American Indians, Indigenous Americans, and hotlink, other terms, are the indigenous peoples, hotlink, of the United States, except Hawaii and territories of the United States. More than 570 federally recognized tribes live within the U.S., about half of which are associated with Indian reservations, hotlink. The term, quote unquote, American Indian excludes Native Hawaiians and some Alaskan Natives, while, quote unquote, Native Americans, as defined by the U.S. Census, are American Indians, plus Alaskan Natives of all ethnicities.
One more time.
What
You
part?
done
The hot link part or all the
No,
parts?
it said while Native Americans, as defined by the U.S. Census, because we've been hearing arguments for years over whether we Native Americans or American Indians, and hopefully this line can get rid of this misnomer and this misinformation real quick.
The term, quote unquote, American Indian excludes Native Hawaiians and some Alaskan natives, while, quote unquote, Native Americans, as defined by the U.S. Census, are American Indians, plus Alaska natives of all ethnicities. The U.S. Census does not include Native Hawaiians or Chamorro, instead being included in the census grouping of, quote, unquote, Native, Hawaiian, and other Pacific Islander.
So back to this American Indian and Native American. Native Americans are basically anybody who was born in America. It's just used on the census. It's a definition with dealing with the U.S. Census. So Native Americans and American Indians are interchangeable depending on when and where you're using it. They're the same people at times. So the argument over we Native American or American Indians, no, you're both. You were born here. You're both.
Questions, comments, concerns, and or corrections? Email us at attentionassembly@gmail.com, or we are live on the air right now. You can dial in or click the Zoom link.
Whichever one you prefer, because you can do whatever you like. But we read the Code of Federal Regulations and Native American Tribes, and knowing the brief definitions on what that is and what it pertains to, then when you read Title 25 again, Title 25 is the portion of the Code of Federal Regulations that governs government-to-government relations with Native American tribes. Let me see. Did it say Native American?
Look, I was about to say, does it say government to individual relationships with Native Americans?
No, it's government to government relations with Native American tribes.
That sounds plural to me. I'm just saying.
Not an individual. Not two individuals. No, tribes. And when people talk about these federally recognized Indians, out of the 570, only half of them live on reservations.
Statistics.
The numbers count.
The numbers always count. And they don't lie. Unless you make them lie, I don't know. Probably make them lie. Peace to the chat.
Oh, I told you no sellout. This one was quick and simple and to the point.
One Dream 33 on Twitch. Shout out to the Twitch chat.
Shout out to everybody rocking with A2 on Twitch, the website, and YouTube.
Right. Peace to the chats.
Platforms that we are on.
Plural. Shout out to Instagram, Facebook.
We everywhere. I mean, any thoughts over what we went on? Because I mean, it's really not too much more information to pull on it. Everything that need to be heard is right there. It does not deal with individuals. It is federal codes that were designed to regulate government-to-government negotiations with Native American tribes.
I would like to speak to anyone who believes that you're able to or even allowed to use this as an individual, or just the reasoning behind it, or where the source, the original, who's the person that came up with this and got through the system with this loophole? Because that's what it, I mean, people talking Title 25 as an individual, you're talking loophole at this point, filing paperwork that you shouldn't be filing. I mean, you got to show me the success stories first thing, and then you don't add the second, because it's not even it's not even a thing. It shouldn't be a thing because it clearly says it's for government to government. If you have a government, I can understand you use it. If you don't have a government, then you're on YouTube telling people that you can use Title 25 as themselves, as a person, as the head of household or whatever. I don't know. I don't teach it. I don't learn it either. Not from, I learned it from this.
It's kind of funny. They the main ones arguing against reservations and tribes, but not realizing Title 25 is tied to the BIA. So who are you really again? Confucius.
We got a question in the chat. Peace to Kennard Burnett.
Yeah, I answered that one. But what about the part where it says the heritage reservation? Yeah, that's still dealing with tribes.
Gotcha.
It's the ability for the tribes to preserve their heritage, the tribal heritage. It does not deal with individuals. And this is the part we need to think. If it was this simple, why do you have tribes to this day still fighting for their recognition or to be acknowledged? If all you had to do was just get Title 25, put it on some paperwork and send it in and get it stamped, notarized, it's done. Why are tribes
But there's a few things out there that seem so easy, but that kind of take advantage of the system even. And you don't have millionaires, billionaires, successful folks, smart people, tribes in some cases, doing any of this loophole, jumping through hoop holes. I don't know, man. I just think people just bastardizing the information. If that's the right word to use, or not? Is it bastardized? I don't know. I think I just wanted to cuss. Is it Friday? This is just ridiculous.
Well, it's ridiculous, and it's not Friday.
Got you.
Hey, my good peoples.
Who is this?
Oh my goodness.
Oh, made it back in time. We live. We just finished going through Title 25 since they wouldn't let us do it with this rise.
Wait, I'm sorry. I got a puppy screaming at me.
The new pots and pans gonna have to
I know.
wait his or her turn. Unless you want to be embarrassed on the live stream.
That's what woke me up. That rain put me out.
Oh wow, yeah.
Hold on.
So Gabrielle, what do you feel about Title 25? I know you weren't listening just now, but I know you know a little bit.
You said, how do I feel about Title 25?
Title 25 and the people who want to use it as an individual versus the government regulation that it is.
You're asking me that question, Double K?
Nah. It was kind of rhetorical.
Wait, are we live? Are you?
We live. We live.
Okay,
you and that puppy is live.
So Double K.
Oh, it's because I asked you that question. You like, hold on, wait a minute, something's up. Double
Okay,
cousin
hold on.
asking me a question about something.
Yeah, I'm calculating reality right now. Title 25.
You know when them eyes open up.
Man, okay. Title 25. Look, okay. So Title 25. People playing games. They don't understand. Okay, let me. Okay.
Man, when puppies talk.
You know what? That's what that puppy's saying. That puppy is saying, look, if
Yes,
Title
I know about
25
Title
was
25.
used in
I
this
just got
household, I wouldn't be here.
Exactly. Can't you let me know.
No, Title 25 people are, you know what? I don't know law. And anybody who professes that they know law, I'm kind of curious with all the throwing U.S. codes and titles, and Title 25 is one of those used. Why they didn't catch that? Let me tell you the reality of discussing Title 25. Shout out to you, Bones. Shout out to A2. They would have got away with it too. When people have used Title 25 in paperwork, Title 25 is used for governing government to government. One government deals with another government. So the United States is a government. Indian tribes are governments. Indian tribes are not governed by the state. So what happens when you get to Title 25, Title 25, Title 25? You are now going against two different governments, and you're not even a government. You're using somebody else's code on how they are governed to interact with each other, government to government. I just
Sound like a recipe for paper terrorism to me.
right, and yeah, because it really makes really understanding. Really understanding. It's like, oh, paper terrorism. Oh, wait a minute. That is the domestic. That becomes a domestic problem. That becomes I'm sorry, I'm having a brain fart, and the cousin got me with his question. He came with the real. That is a domestic enemy. That isn't a foreign enemy. Actually, technically, man, that is a foreign domestic enemy.
Fall under, exactly. You can fall under both.
Yeah. So using, again, people who say that they know law, or even if they don't say they know law, but are using Title 25, you war against two governments.
Tribal governments and the United States government. That's exactly what
Right.
it is.
Which makes sense because, again, states don't govern tribes.
Nope. American Indians, tribal Indians are protected by the federal government.
So that means that you're falsely representing yourself as a government using a code under false representation as a representing the government. You don't represent the tribal government, and you don't represent the US government. But then you want to use the code that is used for both these governments to interact with each other. Man, come on. Come on now.
I'm really trying to think of like a really good analogy where somebody just butt in. Because that's technically what it is. You just butting in.
Oh, this is an A and B conversation. So see your way out and don't dig back in.
Look, I'm just saying. Technically, like you doing this as an individual, you butting in.
Yeah.
You should be looked at side eye like what?
Yeah.
No.
Because you not okay. Look, this what it's
Who
crazy.
you?
This is crazy. You not if you okay. Look, let's say double cousin. I come up to you, Bones. I'll give you an analogy. Double cousin, you be you be representing the tribe. This is example. Bones, you be representing U.S. government. I'll
be cool like how you be cool.
Right. I'll be know-it-all, right? And so I'm telling you, Bones, I'm not a U.S. citizen. So, all right, my benefits, all that just got kicked out the door. Okay, now I'm gonna tell you, Bones, well, I'm Indian, but I am not part of a tribe. I'm not part of your tribe. Well, all right. Well, we don't represent her either. But I got this paperwork with Title 25 on it. Well, if you don't belong to us and you don't belong to them, who you belong to?
What would you do if you saw me there?
That part.
Yeah.
Again, using actual paperwork that does exist, that has a purpose. But when you use it as an individual, it has just became fraudulent. And to clear something else up, we're not saying, oh, Indians don't fill out paperwork. Come on, let's use common sense. You fill out paperwork every day to do business and to move forward.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry if I made it sound like
we're
that.
saying, no, not you. No.
Oh.
What we're saying is fraudulent paperwork is the dangerous to our community. Indians have no business filling out fraudulent paperwork. paperwork that's taking you away from your homeland, paperwork that's making you renounce your U.S. citizenship. Because if you understand, all American Indians are U.S. citizens since 1924. This isn't something that we have to alike, but it's the truth. And again, when did we become the people who compromise truth? The moment we start dealing with reality and facing it, then we can move forward. Instead of trying to find an easy way out of mechanisms that was already put in place for us to access, for us to use, to rebuild our communities. We don't need to be doing none of this stuff there's no proof that it can work. And there's hours and hours of proof that as an individual Indian, we have no business attempting to do none of this foolishness. And that's what it is, foolishness.
Yeah, that's reading, going through that. That put a whole nother reality, a whole nother perspective, but it escalated my thoughts on a whole nother level of dangers that come in association with misinformed information, misguided information, you know?
Correct. And a lot of these people giving you this information, the saddest part is they never dealt to have no position on a local level, medium level, or federal level in government.
Mm-hmm.
The majority of them don't go visit tribes, don't deal with tribes. So they're telling you information that they have no idea how it works. They're using somebody else's misinterpretation. Then when you do the research on this misinterpretation, it comes from a group of people we had no business following in the first place. The same group of people that were warring against our ancestors.
Here's the thought. What happens when you got, and I'm going to say it this way, so I hope I say it right. What happens when you have a bunch of foreigners claiming to be Indian?
Well, to
what
me,
would you expect? And they're doing this paperwork. What would you expect to start happening with these Indian tribes? Wouldn't they want to protect themselves?
And you see it going now. A lot of people ask why these tribes don't reach out and help. And this is why. Because of the fraudulent activities. Because of people who are setting up fake tribes. People who are using fraudulent paperwork. I mean, didn't as a community, we witnessed one of our own.
Yep.
Chief Warhorse come to the community and let us know of these dangers.
Right.
A lot of people sat back and watched so-called Indians disrespect Chief Warhorse because she told you the truth. That all Americans are U.S. citizens. That all protection comes from the federal government. And this is someone who's been living this life more than most of us have been alive. Mm-hmm. So when an Indian tells you our true culture, our true ways, and then you disrespect her, are you really trying to be an Indian? Are you really trying to learn your culture? Or are you on something else? Because to me, it seems like there's a whole lot of something else going on here, brothers and sisters.
Yeah.
I'm gonna call it how I see it.
I'm gonna say that as well. A whole lot of something else.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, it's becoming apparent to me as well that you're on your own. You're not supposed to be looking for help from nobody, clearly. Because why did you get took in the first place? You're supposed to know better. Whenever you got by purchasing paperwork and packages and things like that, you're supposed to know better when you purchase those all the way through, even though it could come from a source of, hey, everybody rocks with this person's information. Mm-hmm. You know, this person is the guru, or hey, this is the go-to hey, if you need this, you might want to go purchase this right here. Somebody pointing you in the right direction. You're supposed to be on your own when you get got or find out that you got. You ain't supposed to get jugged in the first place. You ain't supposed to get got. People get got all the time. But you're not supposed to bring the information to a community of people that are on the same wave as you, trying to make sure nobody else runs into that brick wall that's from somebody that's skin folk. Nah, yo. That's weird to me that you're not supposed to ask for community help, or at least warn a community of people about something that's
Mhm.
detrimental to those same people. Like you're not supposed to say anything, I guess. That's weird to me. I'm sorry. I still have a grandma. I still have a mother. I got a sister. Notice I'm naming females. I have two boys. I got children. So they on the list too.
And even
Needing
look at
to
it
be
like this,
protected.
no, spell out. When people say, "Oh, you should mind your business," what does it matter? Well, that's simple. Some of these brothers and sisters that y'all want to run scams on are American Indians, and some of them are our tribal members. So when you're sitting here and you're scamming American Indians, that is our business. What are you talking about?
Yeah. Like, come on now. They're supposed to be on their own no matter what. Like, just because they got by you. Like, you on your own. Like, make sure you don't go get protection. Don't go ask for help nowhere. You shouldn't have got in the first place, even though I ripped you off. Don't forget that part. Like, really? That's not being, to me, that's not being tribal. You're not supposed to help nobody.
$5 asking the community for help through a PayPal or a live stream. What? But the community can't get help or can't be warned about the scamming tactics. But
right?
You ask the community to help you run the scamming tactics.
That don't make no sense at all. Can you run that back? Can you run that back one more time? Because I think that's what's being financed right now. Wait a minute.
It's wrong for the community to get help on this misinformation, but you want the community to help you fund the spreading of this misinformation.
This is ridiculous. Yeah, I can't help. I can't help you with that. I can help stop the spread of misinformation. I don't like misinformation.
And
I don't like bastardized information.
Yeah, and that's what we do here. That's we take it upon our shoulders to do the best that we can to vet every bit of information because our lives do depend on it. Is that if somebody gives you something, we have to get back and do our due diligence, vet the information, vet the source, vet the writer. Who is he influenced by? Who is he financed by? Well, we have to start doing these things because if not, we're going to keep setting ourselves up for the same banana in the tailpipe over and over and over. When a lot of this misinformation can be debunked as fast as we did Title 25. Some of it you can do faster.
It doesn't make sense to me.
People have been talking about Title 25 for over a year. It's been debunked in less than what? An hour?
First 18 minutes. And then
Yeah,
we just ranting and raving right now. Waiting for somebody to hit the link to say, hey, that's incorrect. If it's incorrect, I would like to know where. It's not about being right. It's about getting it right. I'm not trying to be the first one to be right. I ain't trying to be the first one to nothing. I ain't gonna pound my chest and say, hey, I was the first person to say that. Remember, I brought it to you. It ain't about that at all. It's literally about the people. And the people that are receiving the information.
Said something perfect. To me, what he said is perfect. Add an insult to injury. The scam leaders are not even from America. Not even American Indian anyway. And they're telling you they're not American Indian.
Saying it out of their own mouth. Like, I didn't come here for American Indian stuff. I mean, yeah, I'm part of this community, but no, wait. What did you say before? You said you're not here for the American Indian.
So why are you here?
Your information is literally centered around that. Like, that's who you're speaking to. You realize that, right? Peace, copper color ancestor. Grand rising. Grand afternoon. Man, the sky done faked me out again.
That's like me going to all you eat seafood buffet, but I'm not there for the seafood.
I'm also allergic. You got to also be allergic, dog. Because, there's a reaction to being allergic to seafood. You can suffocate or hives or something like that. And there's a reaction to using stuff that's not centered for you. It's not for you, the individual or your culture, any of that. What are the results of that? It ain't gonna be no suffocation, no hives.
Consequences and repercussions.
A moldy cell could count as, the same kind of reaction as seafood allergic
Or
reaction.
that lifetime vacation package, I don't want it.
I don't need it. Nope.
I mean, again, we'll probably give anyone 10 more minutes, because like we said, we're here to get it right. So if someone has information and the source that says otherwise, we have no problem presenting it. That's what we do.
That's
But
exactly
you
what we do.
get it right, not to be right. And as
Yeah.
of today, all the information on Title 25 says otherwise. It's a federal regulation that's used for government to government business. Now, where the information that comes from about Indian status correction, if anyone know, can they please present that information? Please get the link or the source. I mean, really. Because if this is incorrect and Title 25 is something else, I beg to differ. But let's say if it's something else, then I think the community deserves to know that.
Oh yeah, of course. That goes for anything that we've ever put on wax. I'm sorry. If anybody has anything opposite, I mean, you don't have to do a live stream about it or your own. Well, you could if you want. It doesn't matter. But let us know. I mean, that's what the email and the Zoom link is for. We're not, like I said, we're not grandstanding trying to. There's the grand word again. Trying to be right at all. There's no, and not trying to be first to be right either, especially. But yeah, questions, comments, concerns, and/or corrections, please email us at attentionassembly@gmail.com.
Can you hear me?
Nope. Or you can talk to us on the Zoom link
All the time.
or the dial-in number. Yes, we can hear you, Gabrielle.
Yeah,
Nope.
Shut
Good.
up. I definitely agree with that. It's not about being right. It's truly about getting it right. And it's one of those things you don't want to go around. To me, it equates in my mind for me, I'm at home. How I'm at home and don't know how to act when company come over.
What are you, 9? 'Cause that's what that's what
You get
9-year-olds
what I'm
and
saying?
6-year-olds
We're
do.
home. We're home and we don't even know the house rules. We're
Right.
home and don't know how to act when company come over.
I mean, tell it like it is.
Man.
Yeah, like I said, reading over that, going through that, and what's governed on, what not governed under, but all that entails. Yeah, it put a whole nother perspective, and it just, you don't know until you read something. You don't know until you know it. And people can't unhear this. They can't unsee this.
Kennard Burnett. No, Act 25 of the USC Indian Self Act, that deals with financing, with the education, Indian educational financing. I'll even pull that up on the screen so we can run through that real quick. Give me 1 second.
Oh, me too.
Are you gonna you wanna read this one, Gabrielle? I'm so exhausted from all that reading I did earlier on Title 25.
Oh, I'm so proud of you. You did that.
You know
I
what?
am so proud of you.
Look, I'm gonna get off this line right now. You keep
No, I
taking
understand. Listen, sometimes I'll be like, wait, what's that word? Hold on. Wait, hold on. Is this the right word?
Is this English?
I've
What
said
is
this
English?
word before. I didn't know it looked like that.
Exactly. Like, it's the ultimate. What is this?
Yeah,
Somebody show me what this is for real. Don't cuss me out. I really need the help. I'm not joking.
Okay. What did I hope I pulled this up right.
You pulled it up wrong.
Okay, it says Act 25.
Is it in the chat?
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to, yeah, 25 USC Code S2507 application with respect to Indian Self-Determination and Education Assistance Act. In the title alone, it tells you what this deal with. And that's what I mean when you pull up the actual information on where it goes back to. Normally in the first sentence, it clears up what it's about.
Okay, so hold on. That's still under
Title 25.
That's,
Indian.
yeah, I was about to say, hold on. I could have swore I read that. Hold on, let me go back. That's under under Title 25.
Exactly. It's that people are taking bits and pieces of information and adding their own stuff to it. None of this deals with individuals. It deals with tribal government and the United States government.
Right. That's okay. So that's volume 1, chapter 1, sections 1 through 25. Specifically, that's subchapter M.
Correct.
Oh, it's in between the sections of yeah, okay.
When you go through, these are just the information that's in between them chapters, them subchapters.
Yeah, this is the non-Cliff Notes to open it up.
Mhm.
The book. I've been on this page before. Man, this is oh man, Bones, we might have talked about this last year.
You are correct. We're just, since there's a lot of misinformation popping back up again, I would like it's very important to bring it back up and give the sources and links so individuals in our communities can have this information for themselves. So moving forward, no one can ever get got by this anymore, because we're going to do our due diligence to make sure every American Indian that we can possibly reach is informed by this. This has to stop, and we can put an end to the misinformation.
Yep.
It ain't right. A person can't give you a source. They can't show you an actual law, not PDF. We got to get away from these PDFs, brothers and sisters, because if something is legal and it's an actual act in the law, it would tie back to a .gov. It would tie back to the government. It would tie back to a law institute. When a person can't show you none of that, you better throw up all the flags.
Even if you ain't got a whistle, you better throw it.
Ball one and give it back after you blow.
Like, oh, you keep that. That's yours. So I'm posting the that one in capture back chat so we can have it.
It says, A, certain provisions to apply to grants. The following provisions of the Indian Self-Determination and Education Assistance Act, 25 USC 5301, EQ section, and any subsequent revisions thereto or renumbering, therefore, shall apply to grants provided under this chapter. This part of it is dealing with grants for education. Oh, but they even break it down more. Section 1, Section 5F, 25 USC 5305F. That's relating to single agency audit. 2, Section 6, 25 USC 5306, relating to criminal activities and penalties. 3, Section 7, 25 USC 5307, relating to wage and labor standards. 4, Section 104, 25 USC 5323, relating to retention of federal employee coverage. Next, where we at? 5, Section 105F, 25 USC 5324F, relating to federal property. 6, Section 105K, 25 USC 5324K, relating to access to federal sources of supply. Do you see who this is for again? For tribal governments. 6, Section 105K, 25. Yeah, we did that. 7, Section 105, L, 25 USC 5324, L, relating to lease of facility used for administration and delivery of services. 8, Section 106F, 25 USC 5325F, relating to limitation on remedies relating to cost allowances. Shall we go on? Nothing again dealing with individual Indians. This is for tribal organizations. Oh, you can get down to D. transfers and carryovers, buildings, equipment, supplies, materials, a tribe or tribal organization assuming the operation of a borough, school. Again, a tribe or tribal organization. This is the Self-Determination Act and Education Assistance Act for tribal governments, not individual Indians. Any input from the panel so far?
Nope.
Mm-mm. Huh? Mm-hmm.
Just whistling Dixie. I'm over
It's the
here.
Tribe Trust Fund. The Tribe Trust Fund still deals with tribes. The part that you can't separate from this is Title 25 states what? And all of this is under Title 25. Everything that we're reading is under Title 25. And we can go back to Title 25 and Title 25. Title 25 is the portion of the Code of Federal Regulations that governs, again, that governs government to government relations with Native American tribes within the United States. It's in the first sentence, government to government relations. You must be a government working with another government to
This is
even
correct.
be using this. So if you're not a government and you're using Title 25, uh-oh. But then again, you don't have to take my word for it. You know, contact a tribe. They're around. There's over
Indian
570
Tribe.
federally recognized ones. They're going to tell you the same thing. Matter of fact, Chief Warhorse told you the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Alberto Dixon for the Catawba told you the same thing. Chief Langley out of South Carolina told you the same thing. We have melanated Indian chiefs who've been around for years now saying the same thing. But because it doesn't fit someone else's criminal ideology, we're going to throw that out the window. Again, anybody stating anything that's related to Title 25, all you got to do again is read the first sentence. The portion of the Code of Federal Regulations that governs government to government relations with Native American tribes. So if you're not a Native American tribe, you know, American Indian tribe that's set up with a government, should you be using Title 25?
Nope.
I don't know what to tell you.
I'm finna post the whole act with all the revisions in it in the chat for anyone who wants it. So you can actually comb through it with a fine tooth comb.
Oh my goodness.
Now what happened?
You know what? I'm not okay. Maybe I shouldn't have clicked. This just okay. So what was referenced to in the chat? I went to it under
Yeah, the tribal trust.
it's not under Title 20. Okay, so it's under Title 25. It's chapter 42. And if you are not part of a tribe, this would be it would not be good to be messing around with this.
Again, Title 25 deals with tribes, not individuals. There's no way around that. The law tells you that again in the first line. And I just posted everything in there, all the revisions, all the updates in the chat.
Yeah. People really need to understand.
First of all, it deals with the BIA. This is the regulations for the BIA. BIA does not deal with individuals. It deals with tribes. The individual deals with the tribe. The tribes deal with the BIA. The BIA deals with the federal government.
Mm-hmm.
That's the chain. This is not up to feelings or emotions. This is how it is.
Right. Mm.
I mean, you can type in, can individuals use Title 25, and you'll be shocked what comes back. It's going to tell you it's for tribes.
Well, since we established that it is not for the individual, I guess, I don't know, I don't know. And that's not particular to an individual. That's funny. That's not to any particular individual. This build isn't for. This is more for the ideology that you can use Title 25. Is that right? The ideology? I guess the notion that you can use Title 25 as an individual. That's why we are doing this build. You cannot use Title 25 as an individual.
Now, Section 309-25 is how can an individual be certified as an Indian artisan, but that's dealing with craft and arts. Mm-hmm. See, the problem is people are taking parts out of this and adding it other places.
Well, I don't even want to give them that much credit. Do people even read?
No, that's where
you didn't get to know Indian artists.
309.25 is
they all posing as Indian artisans?
Yeah,
is that what they got? That's the loophole. We're all Indian artisans. That's how I use it as an individual. Gotcha, Charles.
That's you're taking bits and pieces of information and putting it back out incorrectly. When again, you don't even have to listen to us tell you what it is. You can download it for yourself. You don't even have to get the link from us. You can go online, type it in, get the link for yourself. The BIA has the PDF. You can get it directly from them, and it's going to tell you the same exact thing.
Gulag.
Title 25 is the equivalent to the federal constitution. See how the federal constitution is basically the mechanism how states work together, government to government, state government to state government.
Mm-hmm.
That's all this is. It's the mechanism how indigenous American Indian tribes operate with the United States government. That's it.
Maybe they're talking about a Title 25 from another volume of something. I don't know. We could be confused.
Well, you do got this is
real simple. This is real simple.
Federal, but every state got different titles for different things. But you won't find a Title 25 under states for Indians because every state has a different law. And then again, you wouldn't be looking for it through the states because Indians are protected through federal government. They have government to government relations.
Government to government.
No problem. We're just here to do our part to inform our community, to let people know on the misinformation that's out there. Again, at a
Yeah.
Autonomous Assembly, we are not here to tell you what to think. We're not here to tell you what to do. Our job is to present our community with the factual, truthful information. So therefore, when you make your decision, you're prepared for it. You are fully aware of what you're moving forward with. You understand the consequences and repercussions of your actions. That's the position that we take here. Again, we're not trying to be right. We're out to get it right.
Mhm.
Yep. As long as you got mighty close to getting sued using other people's hashtag that they paid for, we're just here. You can't use we're just here. gotta stop. Stop right there. All right.
Don't make me do it, no sellout. Don't make me do it.
What, go out and fake purchasing a hashtag? Don't do it. It'll be a waste of effort, I would
Why
say.
you tripping? You know I own hashtags.
Hey, you know what? You're right. I'm gonna let you have that one. I'm gonna let everybody who says that they own a hashtag have it.
No, I own hashtags.
Oh, okay. Tags that say hash on them. Good, yes. You're a restaurant owner with a display of hash browns. I got you. I understand. Got you. Totally get it. Now I understand. I own that hashtag. Yes. I bought it. I wrote on it. It's mine. Just here to make you think I know what I'm talking about.
I mean, if there's nothing to add on to this, because this was a very simple one. Like I said, they cleared it up quick and easy. And we left it open for anyone that had any information or any sources that said otherwise for like a good 30 minutes, and it's still nothing.
It's all right. It's all right. You know, it's the afternoon drive right now. You know.
So what you said, we deboing. When we go offline, they'll be talking again.
Man, look, Bones, Gabrielle, are you mind controlled right now? That's what it is. They have mind control over Debo. Y'all are just, it's cool. It's cool. When we leave, talking again. I totally get it.
Did y'all hear that?
I guess it's that time, salad time.
Salad. Go ahead and salutate.
Salivations. Peace to the panel. Peace to the chat. Peace to the silent majority. Continue doing your genealogy. Continue on your genealogical journey. Know who you are so that no one can tell you who you are. Pass it along to your children, your family, your friends, your neighbors, so they can know who they are, so that no one can tell them who they are. Anyone saying that genealogy isn't key and isn't important puts you in a situation where they can tell you who you are. So continue to do your genealogy. It is important. It is key. Know who you are so that no one can tell you who you are. Census Day was April 1st. Do the census. This is the decennial census, the 10-year census. Do the census, not just because it's required by law, but make yourself count so that you can count. You've got 3 census. You've got the decennial 10-year census, which you still have time to do. It's been extended out to October 31st, so it's plenty of time. Do the census. When we're pulling genealogy records and looking for our ancestors, one of many records that we use to find our ancestors is census records. So who will be looking for you through census records 150 years from now? Do the census. The decennial census, 10-year census is sent out to every household. If you haven't received it in the mail, you can go online. Again, it takes all of maybe 5-10 minutes. It's a couple of questions. Do the census. ACS census that is sent out to selected addresses. Do that census. That census affects, it's tied into your schoolings, that the schools that are established or not established. fire departments, hospitals, businesses, communities, neighborhoods. The ACS census is tied to so many aspects of our everyday interactions and everyday dealings in our lives. ACS census affects who gets represented. It affects your local positions that need to be voted on. Do the census. Make yourself count so that you can count. Then, of course, we have the 5-year agriculture census. We got that coming up in 2022. Excuse me. That comes up in 2022. So yeah, do the census, make yourself count so that you can count. Get actively involved. Go on your city, your county, or your state's website. Sign up for the notifications so that you can get to know what's going on, what's being implemented, what's happening. It is important to get actively involved. Title 25, huh? Okay. Peace to the panel, peace to the chat, peace to the silent majority. With that being said, thank you, Double Cousin, for your wise words. Appreciate you. We are all born ignorant, but one must work hard to remain ignorant. Those who have knowledge don't predict. Those who predict don't have knowledge.
Ain't nothing to it but to do.
It is beyond a doubt that all our knowledge begins with experience. To know what you know and what you do not know, that is true knowledge. And lastly, sorry. Nope, that was it. Piece of the panel, piece of the chat, piece of the silent majority.
Well, I was gonna try to squeeze in just the email address and you while you were looking, but no, since you're done, email us.
I'll read it if you want, but go ahead.
Oh no, you got another one. I mean, you got like 6 more. I know. Remember, your 1 I know equals 10, but you cut it back by half of that. So you got 1 more. I'm listening. I'm ready. You know I ain't got nothing to say.
Knowledge which is acquired under compulsion obtains no hold on the mind.
Well, give me that 1 more time.
Knowledge which is acquired under compulsion obtains no hold on the mind.
Well, like I said, I ain't got much to say. Email us at attentionassembly@gmail.com. If you can't spell it, I'm going to put it in the chat. The number is on the screen right now. If you're not looking at the screen, I'm going to put it in the chat for later. The Zoom link will also be in the chat. We can be contacted. Questions can be asked and answered. And in some cases, if we cannot answer, we will find that answer for you. They out to help you. No excuses.
If you need to get started with any of these programs that we've spoken about, have any questions about any Title 25 sections and volumes that we talked about, you can hit us up. It doesn't matter. It could be about gardening. It could be about life. The Zoom link is there. The number is there. The email address is there, or will be, and has been. Just hit us up if you have any questions, comments, concerns, and/or corrections, and we will be on the other side of that. Peace to the panel. That's y'all. I guess I'm gonna see y'all later. I don't know why we piece each other out like we're leaving. Peace to the chats, plural. Instagram, Facebook as well. Twitch. Shout out to Twitch, the website. Man, I'm just rambling. Gabrielle, Bone, somebody save me.
No problem.
Shout out to Copper Indio, Doodoo Vision, Carrie Bay.
He was just going to read his statement from the chat. From Doodoo Vision.
Yeah.
He said,
Oh,
"It's
wow.
not-
Hold up. He in the chat. See, look at that.
Yeah,
I
he
ain't
in
been
the
looking
chat. Oh,
at the
he
chat.
in the chat.
Oh, he in the
It's not
chat.
a coincidence that today's live stream is on Title 25, and yesterday's live stream was on HUD, which is Title 24.
Well, what kind of order is this?
You know, method to the madness.
You know what? Shout out to Spirit Wolf. I don't think I shouted Spirit Wolf out when they came in. Man, and Wild Indian Roots. I didn't shout Wild Indian Roots out outside of the chat. And shout out to Doodoo Vision. Doodoo Vision, Carrie Bay, Copper Indio. Man, was Copper? No, Carrie and Copper. Were they here earlier, Bones?
Copper was earlier, yeah.
Okay.
That's when it was storming real bad.
Silent majority as well. Anybody who's not in the chat or dialing and clicking links, you are not forgotten. I can't call your name because you're not here and seen, but I know you're working hard and doing your thing. Peace to the silent majority.
Yay, yay. Thanks again, Gabrielle and No Sellout, the active chat and the silent majority, because again, it's another day of some more great, useful information for our communities. And like we said, our job here is not to tell you what to do, what to think, or who to be. We're just putting our best foot forward to combat the misinformation that's hurting so many of our American Indian brothers and sisters and tearing down our communities and families. So when people give you information and then you're treated like there's something wrong because you're asking for the proof or the source, or someone just telling you take it because they said so, but they can't show you where they got it from, my brothers and sisters, that's all you need to know to start backpedaling or moonwalking, whatever you can do to reverse yourself from around them folks. Again, the responsibility falls on us to research the information so we can make sure when we move forward and we make the decisions on what we're choosing to do, we are fully aware of what we're choosing. We understand the consequences and the outcome. This isn't about paperwork because you're going to have to fill out some type of paperwork to do something in life. This is about fraudulent paperwork. This is about misleading information that takes the American Indian further and further and further and further away from his natural home. And like we said before, the majority of these figures would tell you they're not American Indians. So why are we even going through a lot of this BS information? So on that note, brothers and sisters, continue the work that you do in your communities. Continue to access these programs to continue bringing the great change that we get to witness every day from our brothers and sisters out here working hard for the American Indians. Continue to work on your genealogy and have them conversations so that anyone who wants to know can know. And if you descend from a tribe and you want to be part of a tribe, guess what? That's your right. If you just want to embrace your culture and teach it to your children and your neighbors, that's your right. If you choose you want to take all the paperwork and genealogy and set it on fire, guess what? That's your right. We're not here to tell you what to do. Just trying to inform you with the proper information. So until we link up to the next live stream, remember we love you and peace.
Peace, everybody.
And still waiting for them people that says it's something else. Where that proof at, though?
Reverse.
Hey, don't reverse twice because you end up in the same place.
That's why they still stuck. No, sellout, you just answered the question I wanted to know. How can you do something for 6 years and still be in the same spot? Thank you, my brother. I
Yep.
know. that.
You're listening too much of the cha-cha slide now. Don't do it.
Been sliding left and right for
Watch
so
out
long.
now, y'all.
I'm holding the flow.
You need to take it back now, y'all. Merchandise is not available.
Okay, I'm woke now.
You know it. No problem, Macadon one. And brothers and sisters, again, a lot of people have been using your number, have been using your safe place for us to conversate again. The Zoom number is open. That's a community number. That's where the American Indians, where we get together and we can talk about the real work behind the scenes.
Mm-hmm.
Man, you ain't even got to unmute your mic. You can come in there and type in the chat. Everybody be reading the chat anyway in the Zoom link.
So all the American Indians that are tired of the drama, the finger pointing, the rah that ain't gonna fix anything. Like we told you, Autonomous Assembly is your home. This nonprofit wasn't built for me or no one on the staff. It was built for you. It belongs to you, but it does you no good if you don't use it. So you want to get away from all the regular social media? Use your home. The website is created for you. It's yours. It will always be free. Take advantage of it.
Take advantage, man.
Man,
Take advantage.
I was talking about last night. There was all kind of tangerines. Everybody had tangerines. Everybody.
That's for anybody that's listening that don't know who Gabrielle is or any of us. It's a tangent. Going off on a tangent. Tangerine.
Yeah.
We all green thumbing, so we just use fruit.
You made a tangerine punch last night.
Yeah,
it segued into another tangerine, so it's all right.
But it all makes all those tangerines. It all makes sense. It's like it just all makes sense. It blends together and it works.
Oh, and Macadon one said he'll be there this weekend. And to let brothers and sisters know, every Saturday we have like the little business call, but this number is open 7 days a week.
7?
There's 7 days a week is open. So if you want to call issues, you need help getting things figured out, call the number. Or if you want to actually build a better relationship with the brothers and sisters that's in the chat, the silent majority,
Yep,
on the Zoom line, because that's who
what
they
it is. That's exactly what's happening. Real folks.
Real people. And David Corey showing everybody why he got 2 green thumbs. And on that note, we go.
Well, he counting his big toe as thumbs. Peace out, y'all.
Them knees.
Warning, warning, warning. Hard hats, pickaxe, shovels, boots required.